Yeah.
I'm scared to see this. Yeah.
Yeah, what have we said?
This is Leah Stack. She's 21 from Kildare. We both work in Greg Broderick's at Ballypatrick. We've been housemates for about 2 years.
This is Niamh McEvoy. She's 20 years old from Oma in the north. And yeah, housemate for 2 years and best friend as well. Everyone's parents always wanted to go to college. Mine did anyway. But I always was set on show jumping now, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say so too. At one stage I did think about going to university whenever I was maybe 14 or 15. But my parents were fairly pushed. I'm actually still deferring it, telling my mother maybe next year.
So am I, it's the third year.
Yeah, I don't think we make it. But no, I'd say I knew from a very young age this was what I wanted to do, and yeah, I was fairly set.
I think it was always a given that we were going to be paired together. Sure, thick as thieves, I suppose. I wouldn't be great in the kitchen now. That'd kind of be Niamh. I'm okay at cleaning and all that, but the food I leave to Niamh.
Leah's food middling and bad.
Yeah, I go hungry when she's back there. Sure, Niamh's from the north. She's a bit alternative. So I put a ban on her crazy statements. She's only allowed 3 a day. That's about the height of it.
We both get up about 7:15, start the day then. We try to be here for about 7:30 and getting our first horse. And sure, we kind of ride away at them and do bits and pieces. As you saw today, we take a few to the river and different things like that. Try to make it a bit different every day. And we usually stop for lunch at about 1. Start back at about 2 and try to have everything read up then by 6 or a bit before it.
We'd still be able to talk about current affairs and all that when we're home. It's not all horses, but it is the majority of our lives. So
we try to bring a bit of normality, like when we, not normality, but like something a little different when we go home. So it's not horses 24/7.
Sure, we go home and Niamh would make the dinner and we chat over dinner and that'll be about it. Then we go to sleep fairly early.
It goes sound so boring.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we go to sleep fairly early.
Yeah, we do sleep early.
The odd time we go for dinner sometimes, or meet friends,
Socially,
or yeah. Normal food like sure. There's a nice Thai. There's
yeah
Hazes.
Some nice places in Cashel.
There's not so much in Thurles. There's a few nice restaurants, but we'd go to Kilkenny a bit or different places.
Sure, we're at shows so much too, like we don't really have a massive amount of time at home.
Yeah.
Kind of shows every weekend, and this sort of time of year, like Dublin coming up at the week and Breeders' Classic. So
there wouldn't be much socialising around now, yeah.
I see.
We can't really go that much, like.
Sure, we'd go out every few weeks, I suppose.
Yeah. When there'd be no show,
or maybe the Sunday of a show or something like that, or if we had a...
If there was a weekend off and there was a group of us, we'd go somewhere, yeah. Just having time for boyfriends or any of that, Greg. Too busy. We're way too serious for all of that.
Way too serious. We have our careers in the front line. I suppose December in most yards is fairly quiet, like sure we start our year in Spain generally for February and March.
That's a great start for all the horse actually.
Really good, yeah. And we always look forward to it. It's good to get out there and something different. And then you come home and you're nearly straight into horse boards, qualifiers, things like that. Getting ready for getting ready for qualifiers. What's that?
And then where do we go after that?
Then there's like Balmoral 2-star, Mullingar 2-star.
Oh yeah.
We sometimes do a little bit abroad there for a few weeks, and then the likes of the Young Rider Europeans. And that really doesn't be long coming around, like Dublin and...
It's the National Grand Prix Series, isn't it? And the Premier Series.
Yeah, of course.
And then, home. Dublin Breeders and Mannequin. Yeah, Dublin Breeders and Mannequin is probably the busiest time of the year.
Yeah, those few weeks.
It's where everyone wants to do well. There's about 60 or 70 horses in work, and there's probably about 15 people here in total.
Yeah, I'd say 15 or 20 staff. We're actually quite a young bunch, to be honest. There's lots, we're all kind of under 25, the majority of us.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously managers, Ashley Scullen, Brian Cassidy, Greg overlooks everything, of course, Olga, Greg's sister. So there's a really good group of us though, and we all get on really well. So
everyone gets on really well. It's actually really nice place
good
to work.
Atmosphere and it's nice and lighthearted. Like we know when we have to be serious, but there's also plenty of crack.
There's a lot of young horse here. Obviously, Cheryl breeds a lot too, and Greg's always buying the best young horse he can, and he helps us produce them very well. We've learnt loads, and I have a few really nice 7-year-olds that'll hopefully good for the Grand Prix next year. Yeah, but look how close is it?
Leah, yours is worse. My parents both rode. My mum was a good rider. Dad he did ponies and that sort of thing. And my dad's family were very horsey. My mum's as well. They bred lots of horses, so it was bred into us, I'd say.
My dad has nothing to do with horses. He's still no interest, but Mum and all her side of the family have a good interest in horses. I think I was 3 when I got my first pony. My granny got it and my mother gave out to her that she got me a pony that I could barely walk. And yeah, it all started from there then.
My first memory is probably I was about 3 and I was hand walking my first pony. Stop laughing.
Huckleberry.
Keep it together.
Right, go on.
The first time jumping in Dublin, probably something you always remember. Oh, I always really wanted to qualify. I first qualified when I was 10, I think, 10 or 11. Sparkling Majestic Caesar. And yeah, he got into the main arena and had a pole down. Probably my first memory in Dublin.
My first memory was on a 12-2 called Pepino El Grande. He was actually still jumping. Yeah, he got into the main ring too. I think we finished 7th. Wasn't as quick back then.
I actually fell off my first year in Dublin at number 2.
You did the Dakota.
I fell off twice in the week,
yeah. Twice?
Yeah. There were plenty of really good riders. There was great ponies too, famous ones that are still going.
So there's always 20 people going for the European teams every year. And
yeah, it could have filled 4 teams.
Yeah.
And they're kind of much the same there now. Like they're the teams that are jumping young riders and even a few seniors now, the likes of Harry Allen and ones like that. We all made each other so competitive. Like
they were hard bet.
They were very hard to beat. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did under 10s. You were a year ahead of me, but I did like under 10s. There was like Brown O'Derwin, Race Williams, the Watchmans. There was any number of them really, yeah.
Going to Dublin as a kid, it was, well, when you were ponies, like when you were first in 12-2s, I don't know, but it was all you wanted was
it was like to be all in.
Yeah, you saw, like when you were too young to ride 12-2s and you were in the Dublin Horse Show on foot, you saw everyone riding and you thought that's all I want to do.
I think it was really good, like to do ponies. I'd say it massively helped. In Ireland it's huge. Like I did children and horses.
It's so competitive,
yeah. I did it in Dublin. I actually won it 1 year in Dublin. But no, I'd say it's very important, sure. Especially in Ireland, like everyone's competitive and they kind of learn to just go into the ring and be a bit natural about it all and go fast as you can, things like that. It's very good for you.
Lucy Allen coached me the whole way up since I started show jumping really, and she was great. And yeah, I did the children's as well. We both got introduced to horses quite early.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
But I'd say it is very easy for Irish kids in general. They're all very natural to transition. Don't really think about it too much. Who trained you?
Well, my mum did most of my training with me really, and Gabriel Tunney would have given me a hand as well, so I suppose that was kind of the main ones. And Dennis Family did a bit with me in ponies as well in 14-2s.
I was on a junior team in Fearden, but I never made it to the Europeans. No.
I did pony Europeans and we got team gold, and I did a few Nations Cups and ponies that year as well, Fontainebleau and Fearden. And then I did junior Europeans and 2 young rider Europeans. Fireman was at the Europeans last week with Lily Tunney. Him and Art Fry Sky, she was the one I did the Europeans on. So those two were probably my best ponies.
I had a pony I produced, Orchid's Carian. He won the 6-7-year-olds in Dublin. He went every year actually from when he was 5 till when he was sold at 8.
34.90, look at that.
Jumped the Grand Prix whenever I was 18 a few years ago, and that was definitely my favourite round I ever jumped in Dublin. I was sceptical enough about doing it because I'd only ever done a 2-star Grand Prix and it was a big step up, but the mare had such a good year, so I did it, and I had the second last fence down. I was sick over it, but sure, I was totally delighted too. I was 10.
She jumped brilliant though.
And yeah, it was a really big step up, so I'd say that was probably my favourite round. I also actually did the Speed Derby that year. I was second in it with an 8-year-old Lacanzina. That was another one of my favourite rounds, I'd say.
Mine would probably be with Lorena the both years. She won as a 5-year-old and she won as a 6-year-old. She was just very dependable, and you could always
beat me both years.
you could always count on her.
I was well second. I didn't talk to her for weeks after it.
Yeah,
I was raging.
She wouldn't even look at me.
Yeah, I went to move out there for a while.
There was a remorse at home.
Oh no, sure, I was delighted for her. Like, we wouldn't be spiteful like that now at all, to be honest. We're very competitive. Sure, we do anything to beat each other in a way, but it's not like that at all
We
either.
wouldn't go killing each other at the same time.
We try to. Yeah, as soon as we come out of the ring, sure, we're delighted. That year, Leah beat me both years in the same horses, Tiny Dancer and Lorena. So no, it was great. Now they were two really good, really competitive horses. Tiny Dancer went on to be sold in Ballypatrick auctions, and she's been so amazing. Definitely one of the most consistent horses I've ever had. She's won me so much,
Lorena was sold after her silver medal in Lanaken. She went to McLean Ward in America.
In 2021 at the National Championships Dublin, I won the bursary in the young rider class to go and train with Laura Kraut. So I spent a few weeks out with her in 2022. I did it the year after, and it was brilliant. I learned so much. I got to take the horse with me, and it was really insightful, so it's definitely a brilliant class as well.
This year I take 2 7-8-year-olds, Luigi and Paracellan's mare Handy Aries to Titoy, and then 1 6-year-old Louisa, Lisa Cawley's mare, and 2 5-year-olds. One belonged to Keith Ennis and one belonged to Gary and Leslie Hazelwood.
I take 1 4-year-old, she's a really nice mare, VP Wishes. I have 2 6-year-olds, Ballybon Alvaro and Doloradus Boy. They're also both very competitive horses. Unfortunately, Greg got a fall a few weeks ago, so he's out of action, so I hopefully will ride his mare, BE Kalinka, in the 7-8-year-olds as well. I'm also really excited this year to jump in the internationals. I got in through the Premier Series, so I'm hoping to take Jargon Dia and Niamh for the big Grand Prix, and either Jasmine de Hermida or Temple Patrick Weth in Limerick. We're really excited for Dublin. It's one of our favourite weeks of the year, and we shape our whole year around it, so fingers crossed everything goes well.
Yeah, we have a really nice bunch of horses, and here's hoping it all goes well.